Could you please record board members that are present?
Don Watt. Cassie Knapp. Mark Christiansen. Marie Knapp. Jim Taylor.
Present. Okay, the first item on our agenda is approval of the agenda. Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as printed. All those in favor, please say aye. Jason?
Aye.
Please note that it is unanimous.
No,
You didn't do it, no? You,
no, I'm going no.
excuse me. Don Watts votes no. The motion for it passes. Okay, second item on our agenda is review and amend public library policy manual bylaws. Is there anyone here who wants to amend any of our bylaws or?
I think we need to do section 3, item 3. And we need to come up with wording so that the city can get their vouchers and get their bills paid on time. So instead of properly authenticated vouchers with the board of trustees, we need to say a designated person.
According to the current process.
Right.
So it isn't conflict.
Yeah,
Correct.
so our bylaws would be in accordance with stated city policy. With various from this.
Correct.
Okay.
But, okay, so that said, I wasn't very kind of language for that, but should we do a motion to do an interim process until we can finalize the language on the bylaws? Or do you want to come up with language?
I think we need, if we want to do it, let's just amend bylaws now and be done with it. I move that we amend this bylaws of the Middleton Public Library Policy Manual to state that they have the exclusive control and expenditure of all monies collected and funded for the library and the supervision, care, and custody of the library buildings. Such money shall be drawn upon the treasury by proper officials upon city approved methods. And anybody got better words come up with?
I would say that process in accordance with the city process.
That's
With no objections, I'll change my motion. If there's an objection, please state it now. To state, please help me with the word.
To say to align our process to current city policy.
And Mark, could I just have you speak up just a little bit louder? 'Cause
Sure.
It's going to be hard to, I want to make sure I get the wording correct when I do the minutes, so by process in accordance with current city policy.
Is upon or in following current city process and procedure.
By process, okay, sorry,
Okay,
you just
just-
say the section again, I just,
Okay, we're really worried about the last sentence on this, so can I help you?
Yeah, please do.
Such money shall be drawn from the treasury of the property of the proper officers upon properly authenticated vouchers of the board of trustees and in accordance with
Current
current
policy.
policy and procedures.
so I'm just adding in accordance with current city policies and procedures.
Would be nice.
Let the motion go, show, does anyone object? Any objection to proceed? Any discussion?
Who seconded?
I'll second.
Marie?
So Jim, you motioned, Marie, you seconded. Is it all in favor?
Well, we're in discussion, then we have a discussion.
Okay, so you're just putting the phrase in, where's the phrase going in? Upon properly. So read the last sentence, please. As it would be,
So,
not opposed, I'm just saying.
In accordance, and the last words would be in accordance with current city policies and procedures.
Vouchers of the board of trustees in accordance.
I'm trying to get vouchers for the board of trustees. Properly authentically, which shall be by. What did you say about city procedures? This is sort of great, but that's fine. As long as, everybody knows what's going on.
And then we can cover vouchers.
so would it be helpful to indicate in this meeting, so it's in the minutes what the current policy is, so that we're clear on that? Or is that necessary? So currently what occurs is twice, 2 or 3 times a month, or as the bills need to be paid. I create vouchers with all the bills, and the board treasurer comes in and signs the voucher, looks through all of the payments. And then I submit the voucher with all of the invoices and receipts to the city treasurer, at which point in time they put it in their routine to pay those. So
That sounds great. My concern with wording that phraseology is each time that process changes, it changes, we need to go back and do.
oh, I'm not talking about having it in the
Okay.
motion, just so that we're clear here in the meeting.
Yes, and what we're going to do, we're going to send speak the vouchers, because this is the board show. We'll authenticate the vouchers, so you just give us a report of what the money vouchers are at the end, at our next meeting. Whatever vouchers have been paid, whatever money's been spent on the debit card, we're aware of what's being spent.
So I would always come in and ask the treasurer and sign them and just bring copies so that they can look at them.
So- Are you then wanting to ratify after I've already turned it?
Nope, we're wanting to know what has happened though.
I think they just want to.
That's the way it operated, say, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, was that, back then we had our own checking account, we didn't use the city treasurer. But after every meeting, she brought in a stack of however many things and passed them around the desk, and we'll look at them or ignore them, depending on the information.
Right.
So that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion as finally read, please signify by saying aye. Aye, I think show that it is unanimous. Next item of business is discussion and action, hours of operation stated in the bylaws. I have a question. I've been told you've already paid for Facebook ads that will be open Saturdays. Is that correct?
No,
That is not correct?
that is not correct.
Okay. Yeah, so our bylaws state will be open 6 days a week, doesn't give the hours or anything, that would just state will be open 6 days a week. We either amend our bylaws or we open up 6 days a week. So do I hear any discussion or amendment to change the bylaws?
I've heard from people that residents, they would like it on Saturday, work during the week. And they can't put their kids in the library. We can open 4 days a week, maybe try it for the summertime. And that way we're not budgeting for the whole year. And try on a basis. She said 4 days? Well, how many did you say?
For the
4
6
hours,
oh.
4 hours. Oh, I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
4
yeah, 4 days, 4
hours.
days.
So just letting you guys know that summertime traditionally, Saturdays are really slow, which is one of the reasons why we chose that day to be closed. Because there's just not a lot of people that come in on Saturdays. Especially during the summertime, because they're usually gone. Would you consider a different option of possibly staying open on Thursdays until 7 instead of adding Saturdays? Because then that allows those people that work to come in afterwards, so we would have Tuesdays and Thursdays till 7. And then in the fall, when people are back in school and Saturdays would be more used. I'm just concerned that we're wasting taxpayer dollars by staffing Saturdays when they're really not used a whole lot in the summer.
I think the item talks about bylaws, which says we can. I think, me personally, I'm looking to reviewing schedule options. Reviewing the issue of the bylaws, which is contrary.
Right, which is why Jen suggested that, asked if there was a motion to amend the bylaws.
Which section is that? I'd like to make a motion to amend section 8, clause 1, with 8.1, so that the first sentence and making the second, what was the second sentence, read the library shall be open hours and days of the week as determined by the librarian and the board. It shall be as long as possible within the limitations of budget, staff, and public need, including holidays that need here. So the change would be delete the 6 days and just say, the other stuff is what's already there, the limitations of budget and so forth. So that's number 1. So that would mean that since the board did vote to remove, to change to 5 days, we be back in accordance with the bylaws. If this is defeated, then I think we should open 6 days, we should open on Saturday, yes. But, this is a second. So, everyone understand?
It's been moved and seconded by, it's been moved by Don, not seconded by Cassie now, to eliminate the first sentence of section 8, the library should be open 6 days a week. Is that correct?
Yes, and then change the second one, hours and days of operation to the and days in which the hours and days of operation shall be determined by the librarian board. Yeah. Rest of that's the same as it's already in.
And days.
Yeah, so that way.
So the second sentence would be changed by hours of operation and days shall be determined by the librarian and the board as long as possible, with the rest of the reading remaining in place.
Yes.
Thank you.
Should be adding there, of course, what Jim is referring to is request to be open later meetings or on Saturday. So I think we need to
Well,
have
that's,
a mention in there that was public meetings.
Right. What does that mean after?
and it says in, the last part says and public meeting, it would now read hours and days of operation shall be determined by the librarian and the board, and shall be as long as possible within the limitations of budget, staff, and public need. That's what that's something to read.
So it's been moved by Dawn, seconded by Cassie. You agree with what he said, Cassie, so we don't have.
Yes.
Thank you. That the library should be open, the hours change will be, the first line will be stricken. And the second line will be changed to the hours of operation and days shall be determined by the librarian and the board as long as possible, within the limitations of budget, staff, and public need. Is that correct, Don?
Yes,
Thank you. Any discussion?
You are continuing the holidays.
yeah, I mean, we can pass this and then, in June, pass a, motion saying we're gonna be open on Saturday. This does not forbid us from being open on any particular day of the week. It just takes away the mandate.
Makes it a choice.
Okay, all those in favor of said change, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? No one voicing a opposition, showing it's passed. So that should be amended in our bylaws. Is there any other bylaws that anyone wishes to bring forward change?
I think down at the bottom of that page, 3, got the late fees, since we're not charging late fees. I think we charge you to be approved the day after the due date, at the rate of 25 cents per day. Do we want to eliminate that?
I do not.
That or be stated that any late charges or whatever policy related to late charges would be implemented in the future. You don't want to take, because late fee may something. Right now, but say something to that effect. And take a second, look at the word, just basically say late fees will be assessed according to the trustees and the board.
So if you want to change it or you want to leave it,
I think we should change it if we're not doing this.
Yeah.
well, what we should do with the bylaws. That's a choice.
But by changing it to current policy, procedure, it doesn't preclude us from making that determination. So it's a general, whatever the current policy, we may come in later, discuss that as a board action item to implement charges. But whether we do or whether we don't, if we make that change, still be applicable to
The current policy on late charges is what?
So our current policy is that we do not charge for material, for late fees for material. But if they are gone for a certain amount of time, then it rolls over into a missing item and there is a charge for that. The exception is that we do charge late fees for kits and for electronic devices.
Is that 25 cents a day?
No, that is $5 a day for, that's specifically for playways and hotspots, which are high expense items, then it's $5 a day just for those few
And how long can we have them?
things. It's 2 weeks. Is that correct, Lauren? 2 weeks for the electronic devices.
And what's our history of getting them back?
We actually are doing pretty well with hotspots, getting them back. And when we first implemented, there was some issues, but we're actually pretty strict about it. If they don't return, if they're late, then they can't check out for 2 weeks. And that's kind of cured that problem because
They're called and said they bring it back.
Mhm. We don't have any hotspots that are missing. We do have a playway pad that is missing, but everything else is accounted for. And the Kindles as well.
The chair will stand for the motion.
I would just put it at the end of that per day and per policy. Current policy. we can change it what we want to when we decide.
And I can get you guys a copy of the current policy and you can like ratify or approve that policy at the next meeting if you guys want that on the agenda. Then it's still in accordance with Mark's suggestion of changing, leaving that a little open-ended.
Right. Yeah, I'm for that.
Mark, anyone have an objection to just bypassing that? Well, just languish until we get to the next meeting, which is not that long.
I would put in the notes that we discussed it, you want to forego the conversation.
Okay.
Right.
We're
Give
just
us all time to
postponing,
think about it.
okay. Postponing the discussion until the next meeting.
Okay.
And I will make sure to get, you just want the fine policy.
We want policy on everything that's electronic, everything, books, everything. We want the whole policy of whatever. The late fee would be appropriate.
The circulation policy.
Circulation policy, and, you know, if you got a different policy for electronics, then we need to know that. 'Cause,
Okay.
you know, just, we need to know what's going on before we ratify or just say with what we got. Okay,
Really quick, Marie, do you remember in our discussion with Wendy on the fees? Were we gonna try to do that this meeting or next meeting? Where, remember, Becky said that we need to have our fees match the city's fees for out of resident. Is that for June's meeting? Is that what-
Did we have to match them? I didn't-
Yes, she said we have to match them.
I don't think we had to do it now.
Okay, so next meeting.
okay. Is there any other bylaws anyone would like to bring up? Okay, don't, okay. Next item on our agenda is public comments. We have a sign list, and those who have signed on it, welcome to speak, and like I said in the past, if we've heard from you before, we have your opinion already burned into our mind. If you have something new you'd like to bring forward, please do so. Or if there's someone who's not been heard from, I'd like to come forward. Or if there's a group of you and you want to have a spokesman speak for you, please do so. But could I get the list of who wanted to speak, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Did anyone want to speak, did not get a chance to sign up on the sheet, would like to do so now? Okay, not hearing none, will proceed. Okay, Kristen Green. Please tell us your correct name, in case I got it. And your address.
It's Kristen Green, 23725 Lansing Lane. We're often told we can't judge a book by its cover. This also applies to our public libraries. We cannot judge their value solely on the books it holds. As the heart of the community, our library and its programs simply have no choice but to grow and expand. How else do we infuse our community, the body, with the incredible important lifeblood, knowledge, togetherness, and community resources that the heart provides? Libraries have gone beyond book lending. They have evolved into very important third spaces. Third spaces is a term coined by sociologist Ray Oldenberry, referred to as places you spend between time at home, number one, and work, number two. They are public and physical locations where we exchange ideas, have fun, and build relationships. Places where people can easily and routinely connect with each other. Third places are extra important in communities where people from different backgrounds, religious groups, and in our community, especially different areas of the country, can come together and unite, because the differences are leveled out in ways that are these days very rare. Librarians take on many other roles well beyond just checking out books to patrons. They do not just sit at desks or shelf return books. They are instrumental in helping community members with a wide variety of themes such as job searches, filling out applications, and creating resumes. Even the healthcare sector sees the values of libraries being a critical resource for communities. The National Library of Medicine hosts webinars and trainings for local librarians so that they can more readily navigate social services, mental health welfare, public assistance, housing resources, healthcare, education, and as previously mentioned, employment services. Our Middleton Public Library is a part of this program. Libraries are often one of the only places where children and even adults that are victims of emotional and physical violence can safely go. I have personally witnessed the care and understanding shown by staff at the library in dealing with these sorts of scenarios. Oftentimes, when the lab was available, it was the only place children would receive a smile, kindness, and sometimes even food until school started the next day or even through the weekend. These are not situations we can ignore in our community or the importance the library and its staff plays in helping them. Another important resource is the summer reading program. It is not just a funding for kids to earn a candy bar or other prizes. It is a way to bridge the gap between school and to ensure children retain their reading levels into the next school year. Children that do not engage in the reading programs are less likely to stay at the reading levels of children that do. Reading programs, story time, and other pro-reading activities are a vital part of our youth education. Not having this available to all members of the community, inside city limits or not, is quite frankly a disgrace. I can keep going and share different studies, surveys, and statistics on how important the library is to our community, how the expansion and growth of programs, resources, and a physical space is absolutely necessary to a booming area. But none of what I say matters if the library board, city council, and the mayor's office don't also recognize and support the vision of what our library could and should be.
Next would be Sarah Post.
Sarah Post 8538 Tolega Way, and I second heartily what Kristen just read. The other thing I wanted to mention is I've been now to 3 of these meetings in a row, and you're wasting the time of these meetings. You're wasting the time of those who attend these meetings because this board has not done their homework in their education. The policies that you're asking about are public documents that you could have accessed, read, and understood. And so we don't have to go through educating you at these meetings. I think that is your responsibility to the library and to the city to do your homework as a board member. So can we please do that in the future so we're not wasting everyone's time during these meetings? The other thing I wanted to check on is at the last meeting, there was, I believe, an action item to set up an informational meeting about doing a library district. Has there been any action on that?
Yeah, I've been in talks with the guy at the Adam Commission who would be coming out to do it. We haven't set a date yet.
Okay, but it's in process. Thank you very much.
Lord Clark. Sure.
Hi, my name is Lori Clark, 24215 Willow Street in Caldwell, Idaho. I was thinking that I want to bring up just a couple highlights of the library that I had this week. One was a mom and a daughter that came in, both seniors, and we had a nice conversation about coming into the library. And, you know, we talked about electronic books, and both of them were like, no way, I don't want to use electronic books. I want to hold that book in my hand and I want to flip the pages, which a lot of people do, because we try to, you know, solicit Libby, which is our online app that has electronic books, and it also has audiobooks. I use the audiobooks quite a bit, but I also like holding that book in my hand. So anyway, I thought that was fun, and they just had a delightful time picking out books and asked for recommendations. So that was really fun. And then another highlight of the week, we had 2 boys come in after school because they didn't have a place to go, and they were waiting for their mom to pick them up. And so we let them come. Of course, we welcomed them in, and they were the most polite and gentlemanly. They were probably around 10 or 11. And they came in and they were on the computer. And when their mom came in, she ended up getting a library card, didn't she, Heather? Do you remember? And she ended up getting a library card because they found books that they wanted to check out. So as she was at the front desk getting a library card, because it was after 5, and I said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that your sons were the most well-behaved kids that we've seen in here. And her face just beamed, and she was so excited just to hear that good news about her son. So anyway, I just thought I want to bring some positivity and let you know what goes on in the library other than just checking out books. But it's about relationships, and I could go on. I have lots of them, and I'll probably just highlight a couple every meeting. But I just wanted to let you know because I think it's really important to the community for people to go and have a safe place and have a positive place for them to come and have a positive experience, because I love Middleton, and I think we all do here. And I just want to make a positive difference in Middleton. So, and I think the library is a great place.
Sydney? Thank you. Tiffany Garcia? Thank you. Brandy? Henninger?
I will pass on.
I'm just gonna take you passed. You don't want to take this long.
May I add to that? I didn't sign up.
Please do if you'd like to.
I'm Dan Clark. I'm the worst half of Lori at 24215 Willow Street. And the only thing I wanted to share was her love for the library is real. And it's been lifelong. So my lovely bride has homeschooled our 2 daughters. They spent half of their life at a library. They're both at Boise State now. They're doing great. One is an assistant librarian in the Boise district. So passing that along. And when they were kids, they would come home with, and I'm not kidding, stacks of books that they would blow through. Our oldest daughter is the most voracious reader I've ever seen. She knows more than me about a lot of stuff. And I'm not totally an idiot, but I'm very proud of how learned she's become, because she loved to go, loved to read. Both of them became good communicators because of that time in the library, talking to other people, other kids. That same oldest voracious reading daughter was shy as could be until it was kind of public reading out loud program that helped her develop into the star she is now, because now she is very outgoing, singing and all sorts of stuff. She's got more mouth than I do. And so it just, on a personal note, I know Lori wanted to introduce a little positivity. We can talk about if she didn't know it's going to be up here. But I wanted to let you know that from her heart and from what she's done, that has been a lifelong quest. And she gets an A+ in our daughters because of being active in the library. She works there now. She loves dealing with the people and helping kids connect. And so that there is a safe space and a safe place for them. And I can tell you, I've got from a prior marriage, I've got 3 kids that went through public school that were not voracious readers. Comparing those 3, who I love dearly, with our daughters that are just nuts for reading and writing, and for being in a place where there's fellow readers and writers and sharing stories like the summer reading program. A place for them to go. We need a place for them to go so they can personally connect, and if they're introverts, that they can still connect with ideas, even if they can't do it with people. And because our oldest daughter was that introvert, it helped her get out of that shell. It's a wonderful therapeutic opportunity. So I just want to say thank you that we have the library. Do what we can to expand those kind of programs, because the kids matter, and my kids are evidence of that. It's a wonderful thing. Anything you do to promote that? Please do. I'm done, thanks. Good job.
Does anyone else wish to speak that hasn't had the opportunity or did not sign up? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to our next item, which is an executive session, which means we ask all people not on the board or being, you are correct. Thank you, Don. Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion to go into executive session? Thank you, Don, for correcting me.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Yeah, that's something.
Been moved and seconded to go into executive session. Could you please record the vote by name? Don?
Don Mott,
Because nothing that I've been made aware of relates to the item that is listed for executive session, including the fact that in the job description, the library director is the fiscal responsibility for the library's daily operations. And in fact, that when the material was requested, in one of the emails, it said the board was requesting this information. When in fact, it was an individual or individuals of the board, not the board. In which case, if we did anything and used that material, I've been in places where people have brought suits and had to do depositions, and I would not be able to defend anything there, so I'm voting no.
Cassie Knapp, Mark Christian,
Wait, whether or not we go into executive session. You vote yes?
Murray Knapp,
Yes.
Jim Taylor,
Yes. Okay, we will now go into executive
No.
session.
Need three-quarters. Need a three-quarter majority.
John, is it just because of that email, or are you disagreeing with anything else in regards to personnel that we're speaking about?
Well, the material was requested, I'm using that as the guidelines, since we're not allowed to discuss it outside. So using that as a guideline, I do not see where anything has been against policies that have been passed by the board in years past, starting in 2016 and more recently. And precedent of the previous library director, whether it's good precedent or not, precedent is there, and therefore rushing into this in a special meeting, well, all those things together.
I can tell you that my reason for calling it was not due to that. It was due to the previous discussions that we had at the last executive session, and we wanted these things alone. That's it. And I just want this informational, and that's all.
You can put it on the next regular meeting, but there's a good chance it'll change at that time, but, you know.
Don Watts is correct. We do need two-thirds, which is 66 and 2/3, and we have that only have 60%. Therefore, there will be no executive session tonight. But we will provide, I hope we'll provide enough information that the two members will allow us to have an executive session. Otherwise, we'll have to do some things in open meeting.
Some of the material that was requested is open meeting stuff. Salary scales, open meeting stuff, individual salaries are not, but salary scales are, they were passed in open.
That's not what I was referring to.
Well, yeah,
Well,
anyway,
we can bring it to the next meeting. We'll have more of this in open meeting because it does require two-thirds vote. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I should move.
Second, been moved to second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. We are adjourned.